So in this video, I'm going to make some grape cider. So I'm using my mother-in-law's. It's canned grapes that she has. They're an heirloom variety of grapes that she grows, and then she cans them. Basically, the way she cans them, she just puts a bunch of the grapes into a jar, puts water in it, and then boils it for a while, and then closes the jar up, and good to go. It keeps till the next spring, summertime. And then you open it up, and then what she tends to do is take one mason jar of grapes, adds it to a gallon or half gallon of orange or apple juice, kind of sweetens it up so you get kind of that apple grapey flavor, and it's a nice, cool, refreshing summer beverage, non-alcoholic. What I decided to do was to make it alcoholic, basically brew it into a hard cider. And so basically did exactly the same. I did add some sugar to the recipe because the grape juice is very dry. There's not a lot of sugar in it. So I figured, add about a cup. And I picked the cup just because that seemed like at least a good amount to try. That's what I added to the recipe last time. And this one definitely needed it, at least something. And I figured I'd try to keep it more on the dry side and kind of hopefully have more good flavors without so much alcohol, and see how that turns out. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, just mention in the comments, hey, I'd like to see more of these brewing videos. I think my plan next is to try a hop cider, if that's something you're interested in seeing. Again, something to like and subscribe. And then if you want to see what I use to brew the equipment, there's not a lot, but there's lists down below. And so you can use the Amazon links. When you do buy from it, it does help me out a little bit with the channel. I'm an affiliate with Amazon, so I do get a little bit of money when you do that. So I appreciate it. It's one way to help support the channel and make life a little easier for you as well. Brewing cider is fairly easy to do, and it takes about 4 weeks total. 2 weeks of brewing, 2 weeks for it to carbonate in the bottles. You could drink it right after the 2 weeks of brewing if you like, and then the 2 weeks is kind of, for the bottling, is kind of a minimum. I guess the longer you let it sit, the flavor doesn't improve. So that's something I'm going to try with this batch. Is I'm going to let it sit for a little bit longer. Well, I'm going to try some after the 2 weeks because I'm impatient, and then I'm going to let some sit, and then I'm going to save some for my mother-in-law to bring her up. Right now it's May 30th, so I'm going to save her some for 4th of July, so that'll let it sit for another 4 weeks. I'll be curious to see how the flavor profile changes over that time. So in this video, I'll kind of walk you through almost all exactly the steps. Some of the things I'll show in my first video, so I'll have a link down below and maybe a link up here too to the first video of brewing hard cider. My first attempt, real attempt at it, especially getting it carbonated, and so far great success. And then at the end of the video, you'll see how it turns out. I'll do a little taste test, kind of describe how the flavors turned out, and then give you some ideas as well. If that's something you want to try or not. And then you can also try canning your own grapes. Maybe something that you want to try as well. So this is what the canned grapes look like. They may not look super appetizing. And you can see they're very dusty from being stored. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to open them up, and I'm going to try some to see how much sugar there is in them. I don't think they're very sweet at all, so I'm planning on adding sugar. I'm expecting that I will. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour these into the pot here through the strainer. I'm going to use press them a little bit with like a spatula, squeeze out as much of the juice, and then I'm going to add the apple juice and sugar. Smells like grapes. I'm going to try a little bit, see how much sugar is in it. Very tart. Definitely add sugar. All right, so I'm going to prep that, and then prep the sugar, and then we'll start I'll just go ahead and pop these all open. One thing I want to be careful with, they're all dirty and I don't want to get them into the solution, so I'm going to have to be careful about that. Trying not to. Okay, got some premium apple juice here. I know it's premium because it says it's premium and they can't lie, right? So I'm gonna add that to the grape juice. It smells very grapey, which is a good sign. And then I'll add, these are 2 cups of sugar, they're approximate. Why did I pick 2 cups of sugar? Seemed like a good number. I'm kind of winging it on this one. I don't know, not doing any alcohol measurements here, so or sugar measurements. So I don't know. It's kind of a guesstimate. I figured that's probably more authentic to some degree, and yeah, so we'll get that, and we'll warm it up. I'm not going to add any other flavorings. I'm just going to flavor with apple and grape. I figured just keep it simple. No cloves, no cinnamon, or anything like that. Cutting this one close right to the edge here. Get the heat going. So I can see little fibers of the from the little bits of the grape that's in here. So that'll be interesting. Let's see here. Let's do it without splashing too much. There we go. I just need to warm it up and be able to soak in all that sugar. Stirring to get the sugar mixed in. It's hard to tell because it's not as clear as I thought it would be. So, oh well, I'm just going to have to guess a little bit. I figure once it's kind of a little bit above body temperature, be able to absorb all the sugar. Kind of process as before. Now I'm going to have a 1/3 gallon. It's 2 gallons of apple juice plus the, so I got this thing. Try it out. Let's see here, try not to make too much of a mess. You got a bigger funnel. Okay, at this point I'm just going to add the yeast. So, like half a teaspoon or worked good, approximately. Now whatever I can scoop up there. This is just shy of a half a teaspoon. Add a little bit more of this one. Alright, that's it. It took me about 50 minutes to do all this. I think the little yeast friends cooking down at the bottom. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then we should have some yummy food, yummy cider in a couple weeks. It's about 1 week in. Looks like they're going good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sample out of this one since it's the easiest one to open and access. I'm going to get a little smell. It smells okay, interesting. Interesting. Let's see here. Logistics. I have this sanitized. Okay, so first test, pre-sweetened. So that's why I wanted to check that. It's a little fizzy. Definitely grapey. Tastes probably a lot like a sparkling wine. A lot of the apple flavors are lost. It's mostly grape. A little tart. Pretty dry. This is pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting this bottle. Tastes quite champagne-y with the champagne yeast and the grapes. So not to be unexpected. I was hoping for a little bit more apple flavor. So we'll see what happens in the final taste test. But good. I like it. For the priming sugar, I'm dissolving 78 grams of sugar in 3 cups of water. And I'll add 1 cup of water to each gallon of cider. And what that does is it carbonates the cider in the bottles. So adding the priming sugar into each one. I may not have given myself enough room. Yeah, that's going to be a little tight for this. Probably for the other one. About ready to bottle. So I have my normal flip tops. I'm not sure I have enough for 3 gallons. So I have beer bottles that have been emptied. Some caps and a bottle capper thingy. I got it from a friend of mine. Actually, all this was pretty cheap. I think you can get it for less than 20 bucks. But I'm borrowing the capper and I just bought caps. So down here I have the bottles that are about to get filled. And then I'm using this bottle filler apparatus here. It works with gravity. You kind of like put one end in and then you put the wand down into the bottle, and that has a valve at the end. And it shows very clear. This little pokey thing right there, when it touches, it goes in, it releases the, opens up, allows it to start flowing. So pretty handy. I'm going to use the flip tops first and then get through as many of those as I have before switching over to the other bottles. Okay, underestimated how many bottles I'd need. I had to resort to using some of these Corona bottles. This one is very lightly filled, so I'll end up probably partaking in this one tonight. So I just got to cap these 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 bottles plus 14 flip tops. 2, 4, 6, 14, yeah. I still have some from friends that need to be returned. Otherwise, I would have been in a little bit better shape. So let's cap these suckers up. First bottle I've ever capped in my entire life. I have no idea what I'm doing, so hopefully I do it right. Nope, obviously not. Let's try that one here. Let's try this. Oh, no, it seemed like it worked. Okay. All right, let's try another one. Oh, seemed like it worked. All right, I got everything bottled up and put away. One tip is to clean up after you bottle, so that'll be easier the next time. I'm just going to finish this cider here tonight, and 2 weeks from now, I'll bust it open and see what I got. Cider's brewed. I'm going to open it out of the Corona bottle. These don't keep as well because they're clear. I've been keeping it in a box in the basement so that there's no light getting to it. I had to use these in the last ditch desperation, these bottles. And so I'm pretty sure the cider will be good based on what I tried earlier. I'm just curious to see how much it's carbonated. It's kind of neat to be able to see on the bottle. It's a little frosty right now. There's just a touch of sediment around the bottom there. It looks mostly clear. It's hard to tell. Maybe I'll do a close-up real quick. Not sure how you can see it, and it has frost over it. It's not perfectly clear. It's not bad. We'll see what happens when we pour it in the bottle. So let's see what happens. Oh, that's good. Smells good. Let's see, get a pour here. Got a cat bugging me. Oh, it's definitely carbonated. Nice. Oh, nicely carbonated. So I had like it's good, not overly carbonated. Much better flavor. Toned down the grapes a little bit of the apple. Pretty dry, not very sweet. Definitely has more of a champagne-y note to it. A little bit of tangy, tannin-y. I probably don't have all the right vocabulary for doing the tasting. You can see a cattail right here. It's bugging me. There. She wants pets. Yeah, it turned out great. Great amount of carbonation. You can see the bubbles still keep kind of rising up. Cat tail in my face. Bell, why don't you take a break for just a second? Overall, I think I'd do this again. I'd be curious to try. Like now, it's kind of very subdued flavors. I might cut back on the grape just a touch, so that I get a little bit more of the apple flavor. Yeah, it is good. It tastes like it's very nicely carbonated. Much better than my first batch. If you have any other ideas, so the next thing I'm thinking about doing is going to try a hopped cider. A friend of mine apparently is really big into brewing. I just found out he's really more. He's a coworker. He's really big into brewing, and he had some hops and he gave me some to try out. So the next batch, which will probably be starting here soon, just because I'm going to try a little bit of hop cider. I think I'll just go plain apple cider or apple juice, and then adding the hops in for the flavoring, and then let's see how that turns out. I think I'm going to enjoy this. It's 90 degrees out in Michigan right now. A beautiful late afternoon, early evening, and just a perfect time to drink some cider and enjoy kind of the view of the farm. So, thanks again.